Hello and welcome to Q Radio and Ulster Rugby's The Breakdown Podcast, our chance to catch up with some of the players and see what they've been up to off the pitch. I'm your host, Simon Hunter, and this week I'm delighted to be joined by Joe Dunleavy and Adam McBurney. Boys, welcome along. How are you?
Too bad, yeah. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. Yeah, nice Easter break. Or did you get much of a break?
Yeah, we got Monday and Tuesday off, which is pretty nice. Like, you don't get much of a break, but yeah, we'll take it. It was nice.
2 days, I'm sure, for rugby players feels like 2 weeks. You don't often get, as you say, that long off.
No, it was nice. I just got to go back home to Donegal and just see the family and stuff, so it was pretty good. Yeah. Took it.
That's a beautiful place, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was nice. Well, it was a bit rainy when I got home, but yeah, it's just good to chill out with the family and stuff. Yeah.
Rain in Donegal, really?
Yeah, strange one. Like, doesn't happen very often.
I know, exactly. And Adam, what about yourself?
Yeah, well, I was actually just nursing an injury from the weekend there on my shoulder, so I was in getting a bit of physio done and just keeping on top of that there for hopefully playing this Saturday with Ballymena. But yeah, I didn't get to go to the native Donegal. I got to go to the mighty Ballymena.
Glorious North Antrim, eh?
Surprisingly, it wasn't 20 degrees there either.
When you talk about injury, you've been a bit unlucky then, I think, in the last few months, it would be fair to say, with injuries. The last time you were in, a couple of months ago with Johnny Stewart, you had a cast on, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm not long back now from a broken thumb, unfortunately. But apart from that there, this season's not actually been too bad compared to the previous. But now I hurt my shoulder a wee bit playing for the A's on Saturday there, and just to kind of manage that to the end of the season now and hopefully get a couple more games in before the start of next year. Yeah,
well, you got a bit of a knock, but that was in the quarter-final of the British and Irish Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in the quarter-final, so unfortunately we got beat over in Bedford, but I think the boys really fronted up well, and it was obviously good to get there again, but we obviously had more than enough chances to win that game, and it's just unfortunate now that we're out of the competitive season anyway as an A team.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Personally, though, it's been a pleasing, I'm sure you'd say, pleasing campaign for yourself. 6 tries, I think. Isn't that right, in the competition? You scored one at the weekend as well?
Yeah, so yeah, that was my 6th. Yeah, it's not often a front row goes over that many times, is it? But especially living with Jacob, I've got to keep up with the try scoring abilities. Like, so yeah, he's passed a few on to me.
Oh, he's had some season. And Joe, as a back row, is it a bit odd to see a front row scoring so many? Is it kind of a bit strange?
No, it's a bit greedy. Like, we had all the hard work and then he finishes it off. But it's nice to see. Like, I think he got 4 in one game, which is I've never seen it before, but it was nice to see. I think
it's incredible, really. How's your season been then? I mean, it's been. You mentioned that you're from Donegal and you came to rugby a bit more in an unorthodox fashion. I think GAA was mainly for you before, wasn't it? That was your main.
Yeah, so I probably came in the more untraditional route, like Adam as well, through the club's pathway. But I started playing Gaelic first, but I think that's probably been key. Like, I learned a lot of skills from playing other sports. Like, I played a bit of football as well. But it's been a challenging route, but I think it's made me the player I am. Like, and it's definitely like the club's pathway is definitely building, and I think it's getting stronger and stronger. Like, you see more players coming through, and like I see a lot of players behind me coming through with Letterkenny as well, and it's cool to see. Like, it's very good.
How much inspiration do you take from one Mr. Tommy Bowe? Because a lot's made of the fact that he played a good bit of Gaelic before stepping up into the professional rugby scene, and he has spoken before several times about the skills that have been transferred over. Is he someone you've always kind of looked at and gone, that's the same really as me?
Yeah, no, I've definitely, like, he has the the high ball skills and stuff, something that you would learn from Gaelic, like always having that, your eye on the ball, catching it up in the air. But I think, like, you can see him now with those skills, like he takes it onto the pitch, and like it's just it's pretty cool to see. I definitely took it off from that.
It's fantastic. How did you get to this point?
So probably under 15s and stuff. That's when you the Ulster coaches will start to pick up on players and get them into that route as quickly as possible. So I would have played under 15s at Letterkenny, and then I was picked up by Michael Black, who is in the academy at the minute. So he would have known me now for about 4 or 5 years now. So he would have brought me into that Ulster under 16s, under 17s, and then under 18s, and that's when I met Kieran Campbell. So Kieran got me into the under 19s and then into the academy then. So it was a challenging route. Like, there's a lot of club players, but I think like they pick players out quite early and just get them built and get them ready for that elite level at the academy.
And it was a meteoric rise, one might say, in terms of your club career, because you moved to City of Derry, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you were still a bit young to be playing, really, in All Ireland League rugby.
Yeah, it was quite strange. Like I was still in school, and then I was playing on a Saturday with a senior club. So, but I think it definitely changed my game. It got me ready for that level of physicality, I think. And you know, it was like I played like half the season. I didn't play any rugby because I had to wait till I turned 18 to play.
Yeah.
So I think that actually helped quite a bit, because I put on a bit of size, a bit of strength, and I got my fitness levels up. And then I got 8 or 9 games, I think, at senior level. So that was pretty good. And then I got the Ulster Club Player of the Year then. So it was nice touch to that, like.
Just reward, 6 months really. In effect, wasn't it about 6 months, and then you got provincial All Ireland League Player of the Year. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was nice. I wasn't really expecting it. I just seen the thing come up on Facebook that like there was a vote for me. So
yeah,
I think everybody in Donegal voted for me. So it was nice for them, I think.
Brilliant. And Adam, you've played a few games with the seniors this year, and you've been involved in quite an unusual fashion, obviously, with a front row scoring 6 tries in the British and Irish Cup as well. But just how much appreciation do you have for your roots in club rugby and
No, definitely. I think I'm the same as Joe. Like, Ralstown probably won't be one of the bigger name clubs out there, being a junior club. So the amount of players that actually come through there, I think, for Ralstown, I think myself's the only one really that's got Ulster level. So in the past 10, 15 years anyway. But no, look, it's really good, and it's a shame that I just can't play for them at the moment, because I would love to go back, obviously, at some stage and play for Ralstown, because they are my roots. And coming up there as a kid, like, that's all I wanted to play for, and just thankfully the coaches there put faith in me and put me through to the Ulster set-up too, and that's how I managed to push on. But as a club, I couldn't be more thankful of the coaches and the staff that were around there, and volunteers is a big one, especially at junior clubs, because if it wasn't for that there, no one, Joe, myself, or no club players would be coming through either. So I think as a club, and like a lot more junior clubs now, you'll see more players coming through, just because there are now people coming through at the top end that's been a club player. So it's good now, and it's positive. It's for that route. It's not just all school players. Yeah.
Do you think that's filtering down from the successes of Ireland, the successes provincially as well? In Ireland, it's more players are coming from club setups. Do you think that's a reflection of what's happening above that?
Yeah, definitely. Look, obviously what's happening up top is really well at the moment. I think rugby together is progressing in a really nice spot, especially in Ulster. Amount of players now that are really competing, and the depth that's building at a younger level. And like Joe said, like, it's not just him coming through Letterkenny, he knows people below him now that wants us to reach there. And I think, like, at most levels that's the same in school level and club level. Like, players are competing, it's getting more competitive. So you'll see maybe in like 5-6 years time that being a real progression again of players that's really competed since a young age and progressed on because of what they have whenever they're 15, 16. That'll really push them on now. So whenever they turn 21, 22, they'll be really well developed.
Well, what a player you have to take inspiration from in terms of that development in Rory Best. We're talking about a Grand Slam winning captain, the first Ireland captain to have beaten the All Blacks, of course, that famous win in Chicago, also in the same year beating Australia, beating South Africa. What sort of a luxury is that to have him at the club and him as a forward to learn off?
Yeah, obviously Rory hasn't played that much for Ulster this year, but the things he's achieved with Ireland's been like every person's dream, no matter what position you are. If you captain the team to a win over New Zealand or a Grand Slam, like, that's the pinnacle probably of your career, what you want. And Rory's obviously did that with style this year and is still playing really well. But I think you notice now that whenever he does come into Ulster, it's lifted again. Like, Ulster, all the players lift to his standards, because Rory's a player wouldn't accept people not doing that, and that's just the type of person he is. And it's obviously good having that around, and just the ability as a leader is incredible, and it's something to inspire to and try to get to as a hooker coming through too. It's something that I'd love to reach, obviously, in the end of career. But no, fair play to him. That's an awesome achievement this year, and not many people can say they've done that.
Oh, it's magnificent.
Yeah.
Joe, in terms of back rows, who are some of the first 15 regulars that you like to take inspiration from, or some of those who you've learnt quite a lot from?
Well, not at the minute, but Stephen Ferris was someone that I loved watching every Friday night.
Likewise.
His passion in the jersey, and he went through the clubs route as well, which was something that like I never had anyone else to look up to, and I didn't think there was a pathway there. But to see him play for Ulster and Ireland, it just gives you a bit of hope and something to strive to. But even Chris Henry as well, like, he's a Malone man. He comes out and helps at training night, like, and he's a great guy, and he just like he can learn a lot off him, and he's so happy to help all the time, like, so it's just great having role models like that.
Yeah,
but, like, it's very good.
Whenever you first come to speak to some of those role models and some of those very famous players, do you ever get a bit nervous? Do you think, do I approach him now, or do I maybe wait till later? Or, you know?
Yeah, when I first came in for like a senior session, you know, like you're looking at everyone, you're just thinking in your head, look, he played Lions, you know, he played for Ireland, but then like once you go out in the training pitch, it's just you have to be switched on. You're like, right, I need to be as good as these guys, or even better when you train with them. So like, yeah, it's they set a standard, and you have to reach that standard to go above it. I think that helps a lot in proving who you are, like. So it's good. And
of course, there are different styles of rugby that come together at Ulster. We look at some of the South African players who come across, New Zealanders, Australians as well in the past. Is that something that you try and learn as much from as well, or is that, do you think, just one step at a time, get my own game good, and then I'll start maybe adding other different cultures and styles to it?
Yeah, definitely. Like everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, but I think like what coaches always tell you, just keep working on your strengths and make them like a super strength that you're better than everybody else at. And obviously having big South Africans there and stuff, good ball carriers, it's nice to watch and see what they do. And then you have different guys like Chris Henry, who's just like a workhorse. He's great at the breakdown and stuff. So everyone has their different strengths, but I think like obviously you need to work on your weaknesses, and it's great to have people there that are great at your weakness, and they can help you improve that. But yeah, like it's very good.
Are we at the stage now, Adam, whereby you know what you'll be doing in the off season? I know it's a bit early to be talking about that, but of course, rugby players, as with most sports people, are very organised and very disciplined and know what is going on. So, are you at a stage already where you're thinking that far ahead, or are you just trying to?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think I'll be lying if I said in the off season you still don't have at the back of your mind that you've got a tough 8-week block ahead of you coming in the pre-season. So. Yep. I was still personally anyway, I try to keep the top of all my injuries that I picked up maybe in niggles throughout the year, and try to get as much in as I can without overdoing myself, because obviously it's not often you get a couple of weeks off throughout the season. So I'll have a holiday in there too. I think myself and some of my friends are going to Croatia, so that'll be nice as a bit of a break. But then I'll also have it at the back of my mind that I'll need to get ready for pre-season then too, and get my body in some sort of shape going into that first, so it doesn't the first day Kev and JD don't kill me. But that's always at the back of the mind too. But it's nice, you know, just having a bit of good weather and a bit of time with your friends that you maybe haven't seen in a while, because they aren't involved in the rugby setup. So it's nice to meet up with them too and get a catch up with family and friends before you go back into a tough 8-week block. Yeah.
A lot of the boys, there were pictures last year of the boys going up to the Giants Causeway to do a lot of pre-season running. Do you think, Joe, you could convince them to go to some of the beaches in Donegal maybe this year?
There's a lot of steep spots there you can climb up, but I mean it's a nice place to go. Like that's where I would have done my off season. Like there was a gym just down the road, and I would have done a lot of work there. So it's a nice spot to go.
It seems like a very relaxing spot to go as well. Maybe if you need some time off and just chill. Ireland representation, we were talking about the Six Nations and all the success the senior team had, but now you've both played under 20 as well. And Joe, you got your first cap this year, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I was very pleased with that. Like it's always been a goal since the start of the year just to get that. And like a lot of like Kieran and Willie have been very supportive of me just trying to get that goal, and I think just getting that start and just getting that game in was just so key, and like I just really enjoyed it. But the main thing is me was hearing from my club that like a lot of kids actually like started with the club once they heard that I was playing with Ireland under 20s. So that was quite nice to hear, and it was just nice to see that there's people that are now aiming to try and achieve what I've achieved. So it's nice. It's very cool.
For those who maybe didn't know, maybe remind us who that was against. That was in the Six Nations, wasn't it, this year?
That was against Scotland. So I got that was my first ever game for Ireland, and then I played England then the week after. So it was nice to get those back-to-back games in, and just it was huge for me. Like it's definitely a big honour. Was it what you expected? Did you think a lot about what it might be like to walk out onto the pitch? I should say run out onto the pitch, shouldn't I? You're neither of you are very lazy at all. Run out onto the pitch. Was it what you expected at first? Yeah, like the whole week I just tried to keep my mind off it. Like there was a lot of messages coming through, a lot of support, but I was just trying to focus on making sure that I got good training sessions before the game. But I think in the warm up, whenever I seen like my family and stuff in the stands, like I was starting to get very realistic, and I was starting to think like, what am I going to do? Am I going to have a good game? But
Yeah.
once you get out there, it's just another rugby game whenever you think about it. Like, and it's just making sure you tackle, making sure you carry well and stuff like that. So it was definitely up a level, definitely from a club game or an Ulster game. Yeah.
Yeah. And Adam, previously you had experience of reaching the final, I should say, of the World Championships, didn't you? The side that's the Ireland under-20 side.
Yeah, definitely. Like watching now, especially the 20s playing the Six Nations, like I just wish I was back there again. But obviously, like once you get out of that 20 level, it's another big step up again to senior level. But the 20s was great for me, especially just to get that game time and just bridge that gap between maybe leaving school and getting to senior rugby, because the game time there was crucial in my development. And like I say, we had, if you look at the team I played with anyway, we've got James Ryan, Jacob, Andrew Porter, who've all pushed on now to Irish honours, and I'm sure with Joe's 20s years you'll see that in 1, 2, 3 years time there'll be more players like that there. So it's just crazy how like you're playing with them 1 year and now they're gone with the Irish seniors. So it's a really good like stepping stone and platform for players to show what they can do. And Joe will have the World Championship coming up this year too, and hopefully they can get onto the final and maybe go one better and get that W in the end. But it's a really good experience, and yeah, I definitely miss that sort of rugby, because you come together as a real bond, obviously with the 4 provinces, and you meet friends that you'll never forget, and memories that
very exciting.
Forget. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. If you keep scoring more tries, Adam, maybe you'll play on the opposite wing to Jacob. Maybe you'll both.
Definitely. I don't know if Jacob would think the same about that there to me, but yeah, no, definitely. I got a few in that championship too, like so.
Setting some records, I think.
From the back of malls again, so I don't know if I can count them.
Well, have you been able to ask Jacob about a lot of stories he has from the Six Nations and his first experience? Because it was a complete whirlwind. I mean, 7 tries in his debut Six Nations, of course a record, and the man appears as humble as ever, really.
Yeah, no, Jacob wouldn't actually talk to his housemates now because he's too far ahead off us all. But I'm only joking. No, Jacob's obviously he's did really well, so fair play to him, and I think he's deserved everything that came with it. But yeah, he's humble as ever.
Yeah. It really is fantastic. What have been some of your favourite memories this year, Joe? I mean, that Irish cap must have been up there.
Yeah, definitely up there. And then like even playing with Ulster A's, like that was huge. Like, I'm trying to think now. Even like playing club rugby alone, like getting a good win, like there's nothing better. There's no better feeling. Like I think that'll definitely stand out. But yeah, probably the Irish cap's probably up there with the main one. Like it was just a huge goal, and just to get it, just it's a big relief. Like, and it's just a lot of pride in that. Like.
Of course, playing club rugby for Maloney, enjoying the city life.
Oh yeah, I love it. Like I'm only a minute drive from the club, so it's quite handy. But
absolute dream. That is fantastic.
No, it's definitely a big change coming from Letterkenny and then coming up here. Yeah. But like I love it. It's a nice city, like, and it's just everyone's so nice, and the food's good as well. So I can't complain.
It really is.
It's good.
Adam, what about you? What have been some of the top moments?
I think just probably the BNI campaign was the highlight of mine. Obviously, we would have liked to got onto the semi-final and final, but just I think the culture that we built as a team and everyone bought into it was real. It was a really young squad this year, and there was a lot of academy players that represented that team, and just come together. It was really enjoyable, and everyone wanted to play and everyone wanted to win, and like the competitiveness there as a group for positions was really strong, and everyone really bought into what we were trying to do. So I just think that their whole campaign was really enjoyable to play in, and it was a good standard of rugby, and the game time I got there helped my development. So BNI Cup campaign, obviously this is the last year of it, which is a shame, but I really enjoyed that this year.
Yeah. Joe, you are a man who looks set to become the first professional rugby star from Donegal. How does that feel?
I'm not really sure if I'm there yet, but it's definitely a goal that I want to get to, and it's going to take a lot of hard work, but I think like I'm willing to do it. Like I've gotten this far, and I think that just gives me a bit of confidence to just keep going that extra bit further. Like, but every day is a new day, and it's always a new learning day, and I think I'm just going to keep building, and whenever if that opportunity comes, and I'm definitely going to take it. Like it'll be huge.
Yeah, and next season, Adam, more tries on the horizon, or
fingers crossed. Yeah, you can't be bad to a couple of meat pies now, can you?
The honesty's great.
Nah, same with me. Just again, hopefully the same as Joe. Just hopefully get an opportunity, and if that time comes, take it with both hands, and that's all you can do really to get another one. So now fingers crossed for an opportunity. Pre-season will be a tough one again, and just show, and another new coach probably coming in too. So just show what I can do there, and hopefully impress and get a couple of opportunities.
Well, it all sounds very, very exciting indeed. Joe Dunleavy, Adam McBurney, thank you very much for joining me today. All the very best, boys. I'm sure I'll catch you again soon.
Thanks very much. A pleasure.
Thank you once again. I've been your host, Simon Hunter, and thank you very much to everyone for